Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are in for a treat this evening. The iconic Australian sport of camp drafting is about to get underway. Round 3 of the World Championship here from the Rural Aid broadcast box, joined by Jake Smith. We'll be bringing you all of the action, introducing you to our camp drafters from all across the east coast of Australia. They have been invited here to compete in a stadium like no other. Jim Callanan will be bringing you all of the action on the ground, and Tim Drevman on horseback catching up with any of our successful competitors, and some beautiful cattle about to make their way into the arena. Jake Smith.
Certainly is, certainly are, Miss Douglas, I should say. Of course, all complimentary to the Elliston Station, or the Packer family, for this wonderful lineup of cattle you'll see once again here in round 3. There they are, boys and girls, the beautiful Hereford cattle. A lovely example of the breed there, Lindsay. And we look forward to some big scores.
Well, we have had several competitors successfully get through the gate on night 1 and night 2.
Hey, Lindsay Douglas, what do you mean by getting through the gate?
Well, you're going to show us on horseback, I think. Let's get a camera on you. You can give us a bit of a demonstration, Tim Drevman.
I would, but there's a mob of Hereford cattle. Do you reckon they'd mind if I cantered through them? I mean, it's night 3 now.
Well, yes. Look, basically, the sport asks our competitors to cut a beast from the camp.
Correct.
They get judged in there too, but we'll get Jim Callanan to chat us through that. They need to make their way out of the course once the gate is opened. Head around, and you'll need to tell me if it's a right or left-handed course tonight, around the first peg.
Right-hand course tonight. So the first peg is going to be over here on the NG Stadium, near the big screen. You'll see our judge at the moment, just making sure it's in the right position. We'll just right over here. So they're going to come... Whoop, nearly dropped my reins. That would have been awkward, wouldn't it? So they're going to bring a beast out of the camp. They're going to head across here, and they're going to go on the top side of this first peg. So they're going to come around here, and they'll be cantering. They're going to have their beast beside them on the inside. And then going to come around and go through the middle here. They have to do a little change over in the middle. Now, I'm not as clever as our camp drafter, so I'll just do what we call a simple change. So if Brownie doesn't want to play the game, there we go. On the left-hand lead, they're going to bring the beast around this peg here, nice and tight to this beast, to this peg. Then they're going to take the beast up the middle of the arena. They're going to be riding along as quick as they can. They're going to have a cow on their left-hand side here, and they're going to bring that beast and that horse and themselves, and they're going to pit it through the gate here in the NG Stadium. And girls and boys, ladies and gentlemen, if you see that, we certainly need to give them a huge cheer, because these are the 15 best competitors in Australia. This is camp drafting. You haven't seen it before. It is thrilling. It is exciting. And Lindsay Douglas, it is a great thrill to be out here with them all.
Absolutely. We have a number of competitors that have been successful in the World Championship camp draft in previous years. One of them, in fact, has won it on 3 occasions. Some of our other competitors are first-timers to the Sydney Royal Easter Show, but certainly making their mark on nights 1 and 2. As we say, it's a marathon here in the World Championship camp draft, so they need to get a score on the board night after night. And Jim Callanan is on the ground to explain how exactly the World Championship camp draft is scored.
Well, good evening, Lindsay and Jake. Well, Tim nearly got it all right there, Lindsay, but he went the wrong way the first time. Tonight is going to be a left-hand course. It'll be a right to the second peg and then to what we call the gate. But in the cattle camp here where the cattle are, it's out of a possible score of 26. The competitor will pick out the beast that they're going to take, bring it to the face of the camp and do a few turns and try and get as many points as possible out of the score of 26. The first peg will be taken on the left. You get 2 points for the first peg. They come to the middle of the arena there and they'll do a changeover and take the second peg on the right, and that is another point for the first peg. Then we'll head to where Tim was talking about earlier, where the 2 pegs are close together, that we refer to as the gate. And if they come through the gate, we want to be able to take the roof off the NG Stadium. So that 26 and the 4 course points and 70 points for horsework, that is the control of the run, the speed of the run. That's out of a possible score of 100 points. And we've seen some very, very good scores as well from nights 1 and 2.
Hey, Jimmy, can I defend myself just quickly for a moment? Because I asked the ringmaster, Mr. James Angus, whether we were a right or left-hand course, and I believe he told me it was a right-hand course. That's why I went that way. I do apologise, sir.
That's all right, Tim. I think James might have having a joke with you.
Yeah, there's lots of laughter down the back here, and it's only night 3 of 12 days of the show. Who knows where we're going to end up later?
Well,
There's no better therapy than laughter, Tim.
Jim and Tim, we're going to get your heads in the game, please, gentlemen. We are going to, as is befitting of a World Championship camp draft, welcome all of our audience members to be upstanding, please. And gentlemen, if we could ask you to remove your hats. Emma Irene is going to lead us in the Australian National Anthem.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are one and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is good by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, and let us sing, advance Australia fair. Beneath the radiant Southern Cross, we'll toil with hearts and hands to make this commonwealth of ours renowned of all the lands. For those who've come across the seas, we've boundless plains to share. With courage, let us all combine to advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, and let us sing, advance Australia fair.
The magnificent voice of Emma Irene and Jake Smith. We head on down to the camp now. We will be welcoming our first competitor in just a moment's time.
Certainly will, Lindsay Douglas, in round number 3 of the Tyrrell's World Championship camp draft. And we can see our competitors have also decked out in the great white Wrangler shirts. We'd like to thank Wrangler, Thomas Cook and the Cook family for their support of our World Championship camp draft once again this year. So it looks like our first competitor makes his way into the camp, and he comes to us from Saltash here in New South Wales. It will be Tony Mortimer riding Bernie. And James, this combination, they were 82.5 points here last night. Down to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Jake. So a wonderful line of Hereford steers, they come into the cattle camp here now. And once again, it's many thanks to Elliston Pastoral Company, to Mrs. Packer and family, to the General Manager Rob Tegg and his 2AC Scott Mitchell and all the team up there. This is a wonderful relationship that the RAS have with Elliston Pastoral Company. So we're just about all set to go. Our judges, Rodney Crump and Michael Hayes, our two very well-known camp draft competitors. It won't be too long and they'll give the nod for Tony Mortimer.
Well, Tony had a good score last night, round 2, 82.5. A horse that last year in the ABCRE rankings was the highest placed maiden Australian stock horse. Well, Tony's an absolute gentleman who's had 5 years competing here at Sydney Royal.
So just, Lindsay, what has happened here, there was an extra beast in the yard, so you're only allowed so many beasts in the yard, and they just thought that guy there was stirring the rest of the mob up. So they've got rid of him because they're trying to keep the cattle as calm as possible. So that one's not part of the competition. They could just see that Hereford from Elliston Pastoral
He's a bit of a
Company.
troublemaker, is he? The Tim Dreverman of the herd.
Probably, yeah, maybe call him Tim. I was going to call him T-Bone, but you can call him Tim if you want. So they just remove him because they want to give all the competitors the best possible chance to let these cattle settle, and we'll be underway shortly.
We welcome into the arena here tonight our turnback team. That's father and son out there, Peter and Brendan Kelly.
What a long family history they have with the Sydney Royal Easter Show.
Certainly do, Lindsay. And this year in the Federation Rodeo, which starts on Thursday night, young Brendan, this will be his first year assisting his father as one of our pickup men. So he continues the family history on in that side of the business as well.
Absolutely a versatile individual he is. Does really well in showing hacks as well.
Yes, and brother Tyler, a top young rider as well.
Do you reckon they want me to go help them, Lindsay and Jake, up in the Rural Aid broadcast box?
Well, looks like the job's nearly done. We just need to stay nice and calm. I'll tell you what, run for their money.
What do they say? Don't work with children and animals. And Lindsay, you're doing both, working with me and Jake.
The Sydney Royal Easter Show is about those two key demographics, animals, lots of children.
I would help them, but I've got a commercial earpiece in and a microphone, so I might just stay here.
That sounds like a very good idea.
Yeah,
and
thanks.
Tim Dreverman, it's probably a great opportunity to talk a little about the history of camp drafting, where it was born, and why it has been so popular over the last few decades.
It is most certainly is a super popular sport. It's a family sport. The man who has his team here, he won here last night, Rob Leach. Great to have you back here tonight.
Thanks, Tim.
Can you tell us what we're looking for in a beast, just very quickly?
Mate, usually I'm just looking for something that's acting good. You know, if one's a bit stirry and a bit high-headed, not wanting to move away from me or very, very reactive, I'll steer clear from it. But I'm just looking for the softest, you know, best-looking quality steer in there that I can find.
There it is. That's what we're looking for, ladies and gentlemen. Last night's winner. Can he do it tonight? As we go back to Lindsay and Jake.
Well, Tim, we were just telling the boys and girls here about the birth of camp drafting across Australia, and it started out in the large mustering stations across Australia where Camp for the Night cattlemen would go head to head and see who was the best or had the best horse and was able to manoeuvre stock around. And hence, 2 pegs and a gate, we now have the professional sport of camp drafting.
So, okay, we go with competitor number 1, Tony Mortimer with Bernie, and around the first peg they make their way, and things are looking pretty good. Oh, and he's just going to come in on the top side. Things look so good there, but he's just coming on the top side of the peg there, so he'll get that second shot at the first peg. And what can they do with it? Bernie and Tony, they're working a little bit of overtime. Just sits around now, turns this beast. Can he get him around? Because it's against the clock as well. So he comes around the first peg. They get 2 points for the first peg. Now he's got to tighten it up for the second peg. And Bernie and Tony Mortimer around the second peg. He tightens it right up here now. There goes the whistle. We'll leave that one in the hands of our camp draft judges, Rodney Crump and Michael Hayes.
Well, as we await the score through for Tony Mortimer, we introduce the wonderful Kate Schiffman on Nicolette. We've loved seeing Kate out here. She's an electrician by trade, and this is her first time competing at the Sydney Royal Easter Show on an 18-year-old mare she calls Nicolette.
Scores come through now for Bernie, ridden by Tony Mortimer, of 21 for cutout, 43 for horsework, 2 out of 4 for the course, a total of 66 points. 66 points there for Bernie, ridden by Tony Mortimer. So here we go now with Kate Schiffman and Nicolette. One of our lady competitors, she's an electrician at Kooragang Island Coal Loader here at Newcastle, New South Wales, and she calls for the gate. And she steps out into the NG Stadium with Nicolette. Kate Schiffman Got herself a fast one now. She says, I'll just sit back a little, let this steer run on a bit. And he says, gee, this NG Stadium looks good and feels good around the first peg. Get ready to ride with her, all you ladies out in the stand. They come around the second peg. And what can they do with it? Oh, look here. Anticipation. Let's ride with her. Ride with her now. Kate Schiffman and Nicolette. I think we might be able to smell the Tyrrells coming on, can we? Ride with her, Sydney. Boys and girls, mums and dads. It's looking good. It's looking good. Yes. Come on down. Kate Schiffman and Nicolette.
Oh, Kate Schiffman, Nicolette, congratulations. A super run here tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
Tell us, how did it feel to get through the gate?
Yeah, it was good to finally get through there. Haven't yet, so it's good.
Get that monkey off your back. We'll wait for the score. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for a first-timer here at the Sydney Royal Easter Show, Kate Schiffman.
Well, the scores come through for Kate Schiffman and Nicolette of 22 for cutout, 61 for horsework, 4 out of 4 for the course, a total of 87 points. 87 points for Nicolette, ridden by Kate Schiffman.
Number 3 moves into the camp now, James. This is Matt Moffat from Canberra, just outside of Rockhampton in central Queensland. And they were the champions here 12 months ago. Matt is riding She Be a Cat. Down to you, James.
Thank you, Jake. So here he is, Matt Moffat, another one of our Queensland competitors. And She Be a Cat. And his lovely partner, Tia. She be in the stand riding with him. And barracking for She Be a Cat, the winner of last year's World Championship Campdraft. And look at the footwork here, right up the face of the camp, going for the big points out of a possible score of 26. Calls for the gate. He steps out onto the dance floor here in the NG Stadium, and She Be a Cat says, leave the footwork to me. You just sit there, Matt, and come around here with me now. She said it's time to go. They come around, and look here, this is a nice peg. They get 2 out of 4 for the course. I do the chain. Look at She Be a Cat right around the second peg here now. Says, yes, I'm ready to go. Finger touch control. Oh, come on. Might have to get the Tyrrells out again. Oh, Champagne Camp Drafting is going to be. Come on, Sydney. Boys and girls, come on. Oh, She Be a Cat and Matt Moffat. Well done. Well done. A great barrack in there, Tia.
Last year's champion, that was this one we were looking for. Matt Moffat, congratulations.
Thanks, Timmy. No, it's great to be back and back in the swing of things. Slow start.
Every time I talk to you, gentlemen, you seem to be huffing and puffing. It's not easy, is it?
Oh, I don't know if we're unfit or a bit of concentration. I'm not sure what it is, but it's great to be here and be part of it once again.
ANG Stadium, put your hands together for Matt Moffat.
Well, you'll have to put your hands together again for him. She Be a Cat, ridden by Matt Moffat, 22.5 for cutout, 64.5 for horsework, 4 out of 4 for the course, a total of 91 points. 91 points for She Be a Cat, ridden by Matt Moffat.
Well, that'll be the highest score we've had so far in this year's championship.
So here we go now with Leah Whitehead with Leonie Jane. She was the lady rider for 2023. And here she is, Leah Whitehead and Leonie Jane. Oh, sets things up around the first peg. And the beast says it looks so good out here in the NG Stadium. And Leonie Jane says, just leave the footwork to me. Comes around, has a little bit of a look down at the first peg. He comes around there now. Leah just sits back. Leonie Jane says, well, just go a little faster. Come around, sit back now. Sit back a little. Oh, yes, look here. Oh, look here. Leah Whitehead, Leonie Jane. Come on, Sydney. Boys and girls, let's ride with her. Step ready to make her welcome. She's going to have a glass of Tyrrells tonight. It's champagne with a big dash of Tyrrells. Yes!
Leah Whitehead, congratulations. What an amazing run. You got a bit lucky on the first peg, but that steer just melded after that, didn't it?
Yeah, no, it did. It felt really good.
It must feel great when they just start to follow you. You turned to the gate, you made it look so simple.
Oh, well, yeah, I tried my best.
Ladies and gentlemen, Leah Whitehead as we wait for the score from Jim Callanan.
Okay, Leah Whitehead and Leonie Jane, 20 for cutout, 62 for horsework, 4 out of 4 for the course, a total of 86 points. 86 points for Leonie Jane, ridden by Leah Whitehead.
We're getting set to watch Murray Wilkinson, who's riding a Mega Cat. And last night they were 86 points to take 4th place. Back to you, Jim.
So Murray Wilkinson, the horse trainer, entertainer from Coolah, New South Wales, with a Mega Cat. Murray just waiting to get that beast in a better position. If he can get it off nice and clean, that's a little bit more impressive to try and get a point or two off the judges. Nice and clean and quick. Doesn't want to be taking 2 or 3 up the face of the camp and trying to split them up there. Once again, this magnificent line of cattle from Elliston Pastoral. Once again, many thanks there to Mrs. Packer and the family, to Rob Teague and Scott Mitchell and all the team. They do a magnificent job. They handpick them months before for the Royal Easter Show. So here we go. Murray Wilkinson with a Mega Cat right up the face of the camp, goes across the other side, blocks up now, comes now, takes another turn as well, goes back now, does another good block. Here he comes out onto the NG Stadium. Here's Murray Wilkinson with a Mega Cat all around the, look right down on the ground too, a Mega Cat. He floats around the first peg. He said, I'll just sit back here. A Mega Cat. He says, I think we've got to go now, Murray. They go to do the changeover and see the horse change the stride. Now round to come. Now he says, I think we can go again. I think we can go again. He comes around. Mega Cat says, just leave the footwork to me. You line them up. Mega Cat and Murray Wilkinson. Come on, Sydney, boys and girls. I think we might have to get excited again. We might be going to run out of bottles of Tyrrells. Oh, champagne camp drafting. Oh, you were too excited, Jim.
Well, Jim, as we await Murray Wilkinson's score, who is a first-timer here at the Sydney Royal Easter Show, we now welcome a gentleman who's been competing here for over 2 decades. So highly regarded is he that he's actually been a judge of this competition for the last 2 years. It's Warwick Lawrence and Hunterview Royal Chick.
Scores come through for a Mega Cat and Murray Wilkinson of 22 for cutout, 59 for horsework, 3 out of 4 for the course, a total of 84 points. 84 points for a Mega Cat, ridden by Murray Wilkinson. Well, Warwick Lawrence from Rosebrook, the property development manager. Here he is on the 10-year-old mare, Hunterview Royal Chick. Warwick Lawrence, been a great competitor for many years, and look at Hunterview Royal Chick. Look at this for a first peg. And Warwick Lawrence says, I'm just ready to go. Royal Chick, look here, he's going to tighten it up around the second peg. They come, they might break the speed barrier. They come around, I hope they haven't got a radar out. Now, coming around now, they did 3 out of 4 for the course. Sydney, boys and girls, I think it's going to be pretty quick. I can smell the Tyrrells. I can smell it. I can smell it. Warwick Lawrence, come on down. Beanborough, I can hear Fiona, Grace and Laura and Jack in the stand.
How did that feel, Warwick?
Pretty fast.
It looked fast.
Yeah, no, it was pretty fast.
She's a good mare, this, isn't she?
She's getting there.
Homebred, home-reared, home-trained. Must be pretty special to bring one like that all the way here.
Yeah, that's what Fiona I'm looking for.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, he's a pure gentleman of the sport. Please help me congratulate Mr. Warwick Lawrence.
Okay, the scores come through for Hunterview Royal Chick, ridden by Warwick Lawrence of 22 for cutout, 64 and a half for horsework, 4 out of 4 for the course, a total of 90 and a half. 90 and a half points there for Hunterview Royal Chick, ridden by Warwick Lawrence.
Number 7 moves into the camp. This is Matt Holtz riding Gordonvale Cassia. Are equal first here in the first round. Back down to Jim Callanan.
Here we go with Matthew Holtz, Gordonvale Cassia. And been a long-time successful competitor. Matthew Holtz goes the other way, goes here, and look at Cassia. Oh, comes out, goes the other way, steps back there now. Tried to fool Cassia, but not today. Steps out now into the NG Stadium. Warwick Lawrence now, and Gordon Vale Cassia. They sit back here now. You better ride with him now, Fiona. We've got ourselves a fast one. But look at Cassia. Says, just leave the footwork to me. Whoa. Matthew just says, well, just a little finger touch control. They do the crossover. 2 out of 4 for the course. Now they come around the second peg. Champagne Campdrafting right around on the beast shoulder. Back around there now. Now, Matthew Holtz just said, I'll let this beast run on a little tiny bit. Now, 3 out of 4 for the course. Now, ride with him now, Fiona. Now, can they do it? Can they do it? Yes, they can. Look at Cassia. And another little secret too. Matthew and Fiona. They get the wedding bells ringing in a fortnight. So look at that. Come on down. How pleased will they be?
The wedding coming up in a couple of weeks' time. Bred by your fiance. Little sticky steer here tonight, but you got him through the gate.
Yeah, he wasn't much good, but got some sort of a score out of him, Tim.
That's what you look for. He had a bit of a tough night, but ladies and gentlemen, how about we make it a bit better? Give Matt Holtz a big round of applause.
So the scores come through now for Gordon Vale Cassia, ridden by Matthew Holtz, of 20 for cutout, 58.5 for horsework, 4 out of 4 for the course, a total of 82.5 points. 82.5 points for Gordon Vale Cassia, ridden by Matt Holtz. So Rob Leach with Hazelwood Congressman, the horse trainer, ran 3rd last year. Congressman, winner of 16 open camp drafts. And look at him here, just covered in the, from one side of the camp to the other. Goes one way, goes the other. And again. And he says, now I'll step out into the NG Stadium. So Rob Leach now with Hazelwood Congressman. Around the first peg, and look at the beautiful Australian stock horse stallion, just stretches out and covers that Hereford steer up. Around the first peg they come. They do the changeover, 2 out of 4 for the course. Now, right around on the beast shoulder, Campdrafting here, right around. And Congressman says, leave the footwork to me, and Rob's just pressing the buttons. And let's get ready, Sydney. We've got to press some more buttons, I think. We've got to start to applause. Press the applause button, and there it is. Hazelwood, Congressman, and Rob Leach.
Oh, Rob, you said you were looking for that soft steer that wanted to be malleable. He didn't really want to come out of the camp into the NG Arena, NG Stadium, did he?
No, I just hit it in the wrong spot there and got a bit out of position and saw a bit of daylight there. And anyway, it's good to just get another score on the board. Horse went around good there, felt really good.
3 nights, 3 scores. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Rob Leach.
Scores come through now for Hazelwood Congressman, ridden by Rob Leach, of 16 for cutout, 60 for horsework, 4 out of 4 for the course, a total of 80 points. 80 points there for Hazelwood Congressman, ridden by Rob Leach. Here we go with Troy Palmer with Blue Tunes from Coolah, New South Wales, and Blue Tunes and Troy Palmer. Got himself a fast one too, and Blue Tune says, well, just sit a little bit, but Troy says, no, we'll go up and just bend this beast around here now, around the first peg. They get 2 out of 4. They do the changeover. Now, Troy is going to tighten it up. Look at this. Champagne Campdrafting right up on the beast shoulder. Look at Blue Tunes trying. Brings that beast around, and the anticipation of Troy Palmer comes around the second peg, looking to get the 3 out of 4. Just sits back. Now, Blue Tunes and Troy Palmer says, well, I'm ready to go when you want to go, Troy. And Troy says it's time to go. Blue Tunes moons in, and looks like it. 4 out of 4. We'll leave it in the hands of our judges.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's a legend of the sport from Coolah. Fiona and the family watching up from home. Mate, good to get the score on the board.
Yeah, nice, Timmy, but I'll tell you what, he put the tee in tough, I can tell you.
He did. You were right up on that shoulder. At one stage, I thought you were going to ride him home.
Yeah, I was thinking about getting on him there for a second.
Ladies and gentlemen, the man from Coolah, give him a big round of applause, Troy Palmer.
Troy Palmer with Blue Tune scored 22.5 for cutout, 58.5 for horsework, 4 out of 4 for the course, a total of 85 points. 85 points there for Blue Tunes and Troy Palmer. So White Young, the horse trainer, grazier from Tamworth. And going for the big ones too, and this is White Young. Here he comes and out onto the NG Stadium. Oh, look at Benny Malane now. Says we'll just sit back a bit. Oh, White says we might have to move a little more. Says no, leave the footwork here to me. Now they come around the first peg, and Benny Malane says yes, we're just about ready to do the changeover. They change from one leg to the other. Now around the second peg they come. White Young and the Pole Hereford steer. What can they do here? Looking to push him up there to try and get 3 out of 4 for the course. They do so now. They do the crossover. Come on, Sydney. We're going to be pretty busy here in round number 3. It's Champagne Campdrafting with a big dash of Tyrrells. And here's another one. Beautiful Campdrafting. The Australian stock horses and the Campdrafting, they're the very, very best. The breed for every need.
Oh, I can tell you this is absolutely first class display here tonight. White, mate, great run.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, no, it's always good to be out here.
Mate, to get a score on the board, this horse, a family connection, it's great to put it all together.
Yeah, mate, it sure is. She's owned by mum, dad, and I, and it's just good to bring her down here and have a bit of fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. White Young.
Scores come through now for Benny Malane and White Young of 22.5 for cutout, 58.5 for horsework, 4 out of 4 for the course, a total of 85 points. 85 points for Benny Malane and White Young. So there's the nod from our camp draft judges. So Josh Barnett, simply irreducible, right up the face of the camp and out now onto NG Stadium. Oh, look here, and simply irreducible. And Josh Barnett and Josh's partner Beck would be riding with him. She owns the way and does all the work. But look at simply irreducible. Oh, hasn't Beck got her all trained up, ready for the 2024 World Championship Camp Draft? Well, you better start the ride with him now, Beck. You get on the edge of the seat. Oh, and Josh, line it up. Get the Tyrrells out. Simply irreducible. Can they turn it around? Can they turn it around and get it down between the two pegs? Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Well, he almost went to Brisbane via Adelaide to get to the gate, but he got there in the end. Simply irreducible, Josh Barnett. Congratulations.
Thanks, Tim. Didn't quite go as smooth as we wanted, but we got there in the end.
Takes every moment, everything to line up all at once. There's got to be a little bit of luck and a lot of skill.
Yeah, that's right. We got one stride behind there, and it just took the rhythm out of the whole run.
One stride, 0.5 of a second, the difference. Ladies and gentlemen, give him a round of applause, Josh Barnett.
Scores coming through now for Simply Irreducible, ridden by Josh Barnett of 22.5 for cutout, 58.5 for horsework, 4 out of 4 for the course, a total of 85 points. 85 points for Simply Irreducible, ridden by Josh Barnett. So we move on now to number 12 in round 3, Penny McIntosh with Hazelwood co-pilot. And Penny's about to make her selection. The property manager from Westmar via Gundawindi, Queensland. Put on a good round here in round number 2. So Penny McIntosh. Makes her selection. Hazelwood co-pilot. Calls for the gate. Out into the NG Stadium and looking around to get around the first peg. And says yes, and nice bit of horsework there too, and just sits back and let this beast run on around. Oh, and the beast is not going to play the game. Just going to come in on the top side. Comes back around, trying to get it back on course. They get 2 shots there at the first peg. Comes back around here now, just a little bit of sheepdogging, back one way, back the other. Now the beast says, I'll come back around this side here now. Penny says, I wish you would have done that in the first place. Things could have been all different now. Comes back around here now, just got to tighten it up. Gets 2 out of 4 for the course. There goes the whistle. Give her a round of applause, Sydney.
Right, we'll come back with that score very shortly. Number 13 moves into the camp now. Caroline Burns riding Hell's Angel. Back to you, James.
So we'll just get the score here for Penny McIntosh and Hazelwood co-pilot. Our next competitor will be Caroline Burns with Hell's Angel. So Penny McIntosh with Hazelwood co-pilot. Scored 21.5 for cutout, 40 for horsework, 2 out of 4 for the course, a total of 63.5 points. 63.5 points for Hazelwood co-pilot, ridden by Penny McIntosh. So we go to number 13 in round 3. Caroline Burns with Hell's Angel. Makes a selection. Right up the face of the camp, going for the big score out of a possible score of 26, but he's over the slip down the fence. So Hell's Angel just couldn't get there. Caroline Burns will get another shot at him. Only allowed 2 losers. OK calls for the gate now. Out into the NG Stadium. Around the first peg now. This is Caroline Burns with Hell's Angels. They come around the first peg. And the Chestnut Bally man comes around here now on the red and white Polar Hereford steer. They do the changeover. They get 2 out of 4 for the course. Around the second peg here now, looking to make it 3 out of 4. They do so now. Hell's Angel and Caroline Burns. All the way from Dorrigo. Can they get it around and line it up? And can they? I think they might be able to. Yes, they can. Caroline Burns with Hell's Angels.
Caroline Burns. Another night we get to chat. Congratulations.
I've missed you, Timmy.
I missed you too. You're one of life's great characters. What brings you to the sport of camp drafting?
I reckon it's the people.
They're a good bunch of people, aren't they?
My word, they are. Fantastic family sport. And, you know, it's part of Australia's heritage. It's just a really good thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, she is an absolute character. Put your hands together for Caroline Burns.
OK, the scores come through now for Caroline Burns and Hell's Angel. 15 for cutout, 62 for horsework, 4 out of 4 for the course, a total of 81 points. 81 points there for Hell's Angel, ridden by Caroline Burns. OK, we go now with David Andrews from Aberdeen in the Hunter Valley with Merlin Conspiracy. Right up the face of the camp, Merlin Conspiracy and David Andrews. Goes one way, goes the other, steps out now into the NG Stadium. Now they get a fast one. They go and make their way around the first peg, and look at Merlin Conspiracy. Got a fast one, a real fast one. Just a little bit of a slip there. What can he do now? Can he come back around? Going to come back in on the top side of the first peg. And he said that will be enough tonight. But give him a round of applause there, Dave Andrews there from Aberdeen in Hunter Valley.
Well, number 15 moves into the camp, Luke Bennett. And Luke is riding Malungra's Moonbeam. On the first night, they were equal first with a score of 89.5 points. Back to you, Jim.
Scores come through now for Merlin Conspiracy, ridden by David Andrews, of 21.5 points for cutout. 21.5 points for Merlin Conspiracy, ridden by David Andrews. Well, the Polar Hereford steer just doesn't want to leave this magnificent NG Stadium. No, he says, no, I want to have a look up here via the members stand. Now, can they get him to come back around and come down to the opening? He says, just I'll let him have a look there now. He said, it just feels so good out here on this beautiful surface. He says, no, yes. He says, there's the Wrangler jeans sign. I remember seeing that. Oh, he said, I'll duck down here and have a drink and something to eat. So many thanks there to Brendan and Pete Kelly. So we move on now to our final competitor for round number 3, Luke Bennett. Goes Moonbeam. Oh, look at Moonbeam here now. Right across, back in the middle of the yard, back the other way. Look at the footwork here. And Luke Bennett, the horse trainer from Glen Innes, sets the first peg up. Look here, and look at Moonbeam. Oh, under the big lights here. He's going to do it before the moon comes up tonight. Moonbeam, she's on full beam. And around the second peg as well. Look here, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, look on here. This is Champagne Campdrafting. Luke Bennett, Moonbeam now. He says just finger touch control. He's in here. Get ready, boys and girls, mums and dads. Oh, get out the Tyrrells. Get out the Champagne. Luke Bennett with Moonbeam.
Luke Bennett, a man of few words, but I'm going to make you talk because that was a sensational run here in the NG Stadium.
It's better than Lego.
Better than Lego, you reckon?
Better than Lego.
Mate, tell us a little bit about this horse.
Oh, he's a 12-year-old stallion that Evan and Kim Acton bred. Yeah, he's like driving a Ferrari.
Driving a Ferrari, riding a Ferrari. Has he done enough on the scoreboard as we go back to Jim Callanan? Has he got a score better than 91 and Matt Moffat?
Okay, the scores come through now for Moonbeam and Luke Bennett of 21.5 for cutout, 62.5 for horsework, 4 out of 4 for the course, a total of 88 points. 88 points for Moonbeam and Luke Bennett.
Well, it certainly puts him in contention. 3 great scores over 3 nights in a row. And he'll be one of only a handful of competitors that has successfully been able to get through the gate each night of our competition. Well, as we head on over for the presentation, up here we are brought to you today in the broadcast box by Rural Aid. And Rural Aid are on a milestone ambition to raise $750,000 for our farmers when they're in need, when droughts, floods, bushfires hit. And when farmers need fodder for their stock or water for their home or maybe some financial support or some counselling, you can get behind Mates Day today by heading to matesday.ruralaid.org.au, and a donation of as small as $10 or as big as $100 will absolutely make a difference.
Well, I'll just catch up here now with Matt Moffat. Congratulations, Matt. You're nearly carrying on from where you did last year. Great surface and arena down here, Matt.
Yeah, no, it is great. It's great to be back. It's great to see all these people here, and yeah, it was good to get one round tonight. I've started a bit steady, so it's good to be back.
Tia's got She Be a Cat in great form.
She sure does. She's been trotting her up for the show, so yeah, once again, thanks to her and for letting me ride her mare, and yeah, it's good to be back up here again.
And the cattle, magnificent line of cattle once again from Elliston Pastoral makes this competition that much better.
Yeah, absolute credit to Elliston to bring beautiful line of cattle in like they are. They've put a great program into them, and it's great to see them back here, and as again running around these pegs in front of everybody, they do really well.
So I suppose Tia's got the bottle of Tyrrells around there ready for her to have a little celebration tonight, Matt?
Yeah, no, hopefully she does, and yeah, everyone for the rest of the competitors as well. Hopefully we can all have a drink together.
And then again, of course, the Wrangler shirts and the clothing from Thomas Cook. Many thanks there to Murray, Sue and Lockie Cook.
Yeah, no, thanks to all the sponsors. It's a great outcome for our sport to be in front of all these people. And yeah, once again, thank you to Wrangler for the shirts and the other sponsors. And yeah.
Well done, Matt, and all the best for the next 3 rounds.
Thanks very much.
Our photographers capturing all of the action, and our winner and place getters will head off in a lap of honour around NG Stadium and Sydney. You can put those hands together.
Well, Lindsay Douglas, Jake Smith up there in the Rural Aid broadcast box. It has been a pleasure to be with you both today, but hey, I'm on a horse, I'm with the boys. I'm going to go find a Tyrrell's wine and I'll catch you both tomorrow morning.
Oh, you've earned it, Tim Drevman. We've had a wonderful night for round 3 of the World Championship Campdraft. Do you know, there isn't a rule at Sydney Royal Easter Show that says you can't come back day after day after day. Tomorrow night is round 4 The final is only 3 nights away. It is only going to get bigger and better every single night from up here in the Rural Aid broadcast box. Thanks for being part of night 3 of our World Championship Camp Draft.